Today we're going to do a one-line drawing. That's where you draw using one continuous line without lifting your pencil from the paper. You may have noticed that these characters from the movie Soul are also drawn using one continuous line. And it's almost as if they're trying to show each part of their face at once. Now, the artists who created these characters were actually inspired by this guy, Pablo Picasso. Pablo is one of the first people to use cubism in his art. This is where you try to show all viewpoints of a person or an object all at once. They also call it cubism because the subjects look like they are made out of cubes or geometric shapes. Now, the artists who created these characters started with one single piece of wire. They would mount it in wood, and they would start bending that wire to create the characters. And so they're using one piece of wire, or one line. Pablo was also very interested in this. He would think of something like a penguin, and he would say, how can I create that using one line? How can I draw it without lifting my pencil? He might look at something like a camel and try to kind of simplify it. Notice how he's not getting every single detail, but you can tell that that's a camel. So as he draws the elephant, he's trying to get the gist or the impression of the elephant. So I'm going to start with a white piece of paper and a black drawing utensil. I'm going to use a marker, and so I'm going to make sure I put a piece of paper underneath, but you can use whatever you have around the house. So I'm going to start by drawing my portrait. I'm going to start with the eye. And I'm just going to kind of work my way around into the nose, draw my lips. Remember, this doesn't have to look just like a real person, right? We're trying to get the gist or the impression, and we're trying to use one continuous line to draw it. So you have to get kind of creative with how you draw the eyebrows, the eye. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. That means it doesn't have to look the same on both sides. You'll find this is actually a really fun drawing exercise. It really kind of makes you think. Now grab a new piece of paper and start somewhere else. Since I started with the eye before, I started with the top of the head this time. And same thing, I'm going to try to go around, be creative with how I draw my portrait. When I feel like I'm done, I'm going to grab one more piece of paper, and we're going to do one more continuous line, or one line portrait. Your art lesson this week is to draw two portraits. Each one you're going to use one continuous line. That means do not lift up your marker as you draw. Now if you want to add a splash of color, go for it. You can also just leave it white, your choice. Snap a photo and turn in. Now your bonus challenge is to try to draw your portraits and not let the line cross over itself. It's a little harder than you think. All right, get creative, have some fun. I cannot wait to see what you guys do.